What is going on, everybody? How are you doing today? Happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Suge, and this is a Steel Conspiracy every Tuesday. And of course, I am joined by the awesome, the best, the face that runs the place. I don't know how many other names I can give you, but Miss Adelia to my left. Yes, my left. You know how I am with directions. How you doing, Miss Adelia?
I'm doing good. Danny calls me the backbone of the channel, so I think we'll go with that. Um, I am very happy to be here. I'm happy that the preseason is over and we're about to get to some real football because it's better when it matters than when it
Ex-
doesn't.
right? Exactly. We have this week off, and then next week we get it going. Do we a Thursday night game or a Monday
I
night game?
think there's a Thursday night game next week. I think it's Eagles and Cowboys
Who
to
wants to
start the
watch?
season.
Who wants to watch those teams? Ugh.
Well, it's how they're starting the season. Eagles won the Super Bowl, right? So
Yeah, but as Ferris would say, the Cowboys just get put on TV for no reason whatsoever.
yeah.
Um,
Want to say hi to the people in the chat. Hey, Jeremy, how you doing tonight? Jay says he made it home right in time. Glad you're here, Jay.
yeah,
Thanks for
and I
joining.
apparently I missed Jay on his lunch break.
You did. You did.
Because I went and took a nap. So my apologies, Jay,
Yeah.
but appreciate you always stopping in. Yes, it is Tuesday. We're here to talk some football. We're going to talk some cuts, some
Mm-hmm.
trades. I forgot my baby hands because baby hands got traded. We're also going to talk some wrestling, some unfortunate things that happened over the weekend. Miss Adelia, it's not really
It's
good.
very unfortunate. It's awful, actually. So, yeah.
Yeah. We're also going to talk some rivalry with Maria Sharapova and Serena Williams. Going to get your reaction on that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also going to talk um, our blind rankings. I don't know what the
You
topic
don't
is
know what it
typically
is.
is, but
Uh,
we're gonna get to that.
we also have do athletes owe fans autographs in STV talk.
Yes, we'll definitely talk about that because there was a couple of days ago a story came out which is very interesting, and you'll hear our thoughts about it.
Yep.
But
Thanks, Jay. I'm glad you're here to support. Speaking of support, if you want to support the channel, you can first off join our Discord. Like Jay and Jeremy are members of our Discord. There's a link in the description if you're watching on YouTube, or it's exclamation point Discord to get the link if you're watching on Twitch. That's free. Anyone can join. Please feel free to do so. We love having new people in the Discord. And then, if you feel like supporting us a little bit financially, all the money that we make through that Patreon or the Ko-fi page, or if you buy us a coffee on Buy Me a Coffee, gets put back into the channel. So there's QR codes on the screen. There's links in the description if you're watching on YouTube, or you can find all the information at letsgetreadynetwork.com. The newly redesigned letsgetreadynetwork.com.
yes, make sure to check that out. Adelia has been doing a lot of work with that, a lot of cool things over there. You got a newsletter coming out every week,
No,
or
we had to stop the newsletter, unfortunately. But working on putting more stuff on the website. D Weezy has a column. Our buddy D Weezy has a column on the website. Ferris occasionally writes things for the website. Justin occasionally writes things for the website, and I'm going to start writing some things for the website. So
there you go. And Adelia is a great writer, so just
thank you.
trust me. If you've seen my notes and then see her notes, night and day, night and day.
It
Okay.
is a little night and day. Yeah.
So, but if you want to support us, make sure check out those links that she talked about. Send her a coffee. I don't drink coffee, but send her a coffee, and then Kofi's on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Discord links are in the description, so make sure to check all that out. So, without further ado, Miss Adela, let's get into the preseason. Our last two preseason games for both our teams,
Okay.
and we'll start off with the Steelers. Steelers played the Panthers, 19 beat them 19-10. Um, Mason Rudolph goes out there, throws a pick like he usually does. Uh, so it was kind of like, but Skylar Thompson looks like the player of the preseason. Went out there, had 152 yards, one touchdown. We didn't get much from the running game, but Scotty Miller, Lance McCutcheon, Keyshawn Williams put up some decent numbers. Ooh, excuse me. I took a drink of water and now I'm like burping. Steelers finished 2-1 in the preseason. I feel I feel okay. I remember we went 3-0 with Kenny Pickett,
Mm-hmm.
and then we stunk up the joint for the year. I mean, still finished over 500, but we
Yeah.
stunk up the joint. Um, Not what we expected. So the thing is,
It's I say this every week that we've done this show. It's preseason. It
yeah,
doesn't matter. You can be terrible in preseason and great in the regular season. You can be great in preseason and absolutely awful in the regular season. It tells you nothing. It just gives guys an opportunity to play the game and maybe make the roster.
I mean, it does tell you what players you're going to have in that second tier, or the backing up of the starters.
The results, I'm saying, the
Yeah,
results don't
yeah, the
matter.
word also matter.
There's important stuff in the preseason, obviously, because it's how these guys make the roster and they make decisions and things like that. But yeah,
You know what I thought
results
of?
don't matter.
You know what I
What?
thought of it while watching this game, watching the game.
What?
Could you imagine, like, you're not a starter and you're like a backup and you're trying to make the roster, so you have your jersey with your name on it, and then you get cut. Do you like
Yeah,
take that jersey home with you? And if you're
I
one of those
don't think
players that
so.
bounce from team to team, like, do you get to
I
keep
don't
those
think you get to
jerseys?
keep those jerseys.
But like, how much money is that spent on just making jerseys for these players, and then they cut them after 3 games? What do you do with
Yeah.
those jerseys?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Jeremy with a comment saying Yaya Black is the one I'm seeing talked about the most during Steelers preseason. He looks very good. Your thoughts on that, Suge?
Yaya Black. Let me see. Yeah, yeah, 3 tackles, 2 assists, 2 sacks. Yeah, looking very good. I think that he's going to help the line tremendously. Obviously, you have T.J. Watt, you have Nick Herbert, you have Alex Highsmith, you have our rookie did get hurt and sprained his MCL. Derek Harmon, our first round pick, so he's going to be out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna, obviously we have the whole Cameron Hayward thing, but it looks like he's gonna play. He's not gonna miss. He's not gonna sit out.
He just
It's kind
wanted the
of
preseason off.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because he like does a podcast, and you think a guy that's not doesn't want to play for that team, or not that he doesn't want to play, he wants to get paid and everything like that. Like, but he does a whole podcast. He invites all the players on. They had Aaron Rodgers on recently, DK Metcalf. So like, if a guy
Yeah.
did not want to play, I don't think he would be doing a podcast and talking to all the players.
Yeah, I
Like,
think he wants to stay a Steeler and everything. He just wants to get paid more. I mean,
yeah,
he told them he was going to come back and ask for more money if he made All Pro, was it? And he did, so he came back and asked for more money. But I
we'll
don't
see.
know.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna miss, but
Yeah,
you know, like you said, the game, the score doesn't matter. With I mean, actually, I was kind of happy because beat Rodney and Jay's team, the Panthers, so I was happy about that.
yeah.
But it was good to see, like, because one of the big things is Aaron Rodgers did not play in this preseason. I
Mm-hmm.
don't even think DK did. Jalen Ramsey did play this last preseason, played some snaps. Um, so Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old. How's he going to look? We know the last time Aaron Rodgers went to a new team, came out, he lasted
Yeah,
zero point 0.3 seconds.
0.3 seconds. Yeah.
So I'm a little worried about that. But watching podcasts that he's been on, talking to Cam Hayward, watching interviews, watching what other players are saying about him, it looks positive,
Yeah.
and that's all I can hope for.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't, one of the
What's
big
up, Buck?
what up, Buck? One of the big things for us was obviously losing George Pickens, who's going to
Mm-hmm.
be our second wide receiver, or how's our wide receiver going to look, the core going to look. And we wanted to see some of the preseason to see that Scotty Miller looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Wilson, when he was in it, looked pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin Austin the third is hurt, so this gives other guys opportunities. He still made the roster. Caleb Johnson was, or not Caleb Johnson, sorry. There was a wide receiver. Who was it? Let me see his name. Where'd he go? Where did he go? Okay, I lost him. But we did release some wide receivers. Robert Woods was one of them. Keyshawn Williams was another one. Brandon Johnson. There you go. Brandon Johnson was waived. So our receiver core, I wanted to see what it looked like. Some of you know, the guys that would be like the second or third receiver and how they would play. Because
Mm-hmm.
obviously DJ didn't play in the preseason, and it looked okay. Um, but again, having Aaron Rodgers in there, having our starting running back, our O line. How is this? How is this going to be? So there's some optimism there. We'll kind of see. We have a week now to get healthy, see who's ready, and then we're going to be ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Jeremy
Jeremy
with
just
another
comment.
comment. Yeah, never would have thought we'd see two 40-year-old quarterbacks potentially facing each other in the same division in Flacco and Aaron Rodgers.
Very true, very true.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing a lot of things about that, and how Tom Brady was the only one to do it, and they don't think anybody else is going to do it. I said this last year with Russell Wilson. I don't need Russell Wilson of the past. I just need a Russell Wilson that can complete passes, throw
Yeah.
touchdowns. He did for a minute, and then he kind of slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
If Aaron Rodgers can do that, if he can put up the numbers that he put up last year
Mm-hmm.
with a defense that's going to back him up, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And if we get into playoffs, I think especially with his playoff experience, we can win a playoff game. But
Mm-hmm.
can he be healthy? Can he do it in the playoffs? Can our wide receiver core hold up? Can our O line hold up? And can our running backs run the ball? That is the question. And that's the thing.
Yeah, you've got the pieces. Can they execute? Is basically where you're at.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's also going to come down to health because that's what we ran into the last couple of years is health issues.
Mm-hmm.
We're on a roll. We were leading the division last year. We needed to win a couple more games, and then we got hurt, and then things just kind of fell apart. Baltimore was able to get their stuff together, and they ended up winning out, taking the division from us, and then we had to go into Baltimore where we eventually lost in the playoffs. So. And look at a lot of people are counting us out. We're going to go over next week. We are going to go over our schedules, predicting our season. But a lot of what I've seen online, experts. Some experts pick us as a wild horse. Some people pick us to win the AFC North, but a lot of people are just picking us to finish under 500 every year, like always, and then we finish over 500. The thing is though, which comes times is okay, we finish over 500, but then we don't do anything, or we make the playoffs and we lose. That's where we hope things will change. I know today we were talking to Ryan, one of the people that does the shows here and a good friend of the channel, and he was asking me, well, if they go, let's say they go 11-6, make the playoffs, win the playoff game, but lose, does Aaron Rodgers come back? And I tell you, I don't know. I honestly don't know. This is up in the air. I seen him talk about it on the podcast today. He was telling teams, hey, I'm not committing right now because I have things going on. I'm dealing with stuff. And we saw teams move on. The Steelers didn't. Obviously they had an opportunity to try to just re-sign Justin Fields, keep Russell Wilson. That didn't happen. They had a chance to draft Shador Sanders. That didn't happen. They ended up drafting Will Howard. Excuse me. And then Aaron Rodgers came to sign with the Steelers. So I think they were all in on Aaron Rodgers. Question is that going to pay off? And is it going to, because again, I think he's here for a year. If he's here for longer than a year, I don't know.
I think you can't count on him for more than a year at this point. Yeah. He's at a point where it's just going to be year to year. If he comes back next year, great. If he doesn't, he's well earned his retirement at this age.
Yeah. So I mean, with our backups, we have Mason Rudolph, we have Will Howard, Skylar Thompson. We're keeping 4 quarterbacks. We'll talk about that in a minute, which is very, very strange. Like some teams only keep 2 quarterbacks. We're keeping 4.
Yeah.
So that's a very interesting. But our first game is against the Jets. NFL loves drama because they got Justin Fields, and now we have Aaron Rodgers, and let's go with that storyline. So it's going to be interesting. I like the fact that we have a week off. Get everybody as healthy as we can, and let's see what happens. We have TJ back. We have Nick Herbert back. Holcomb is back. Guys that got hurt last year. We got the new corners. So let's see how we do. I think we're going to heavily depend on this defense because I just don't know about the running game. I think the wide receiver core is going to be okay. I don't know if they're going to put up these spectacular numbers. Maybe hopefully DK can get over 1,000 yards and maybe get another wide receiver close to that. But I think our running back is going to have to do something special this year. and really be used as a workhorse because we had a decent line last year, and with an older Aaron Rodgers, the line really has to hold up for him.
Yeah, it does.
So we're gonna have to use our running backs a lot, and hopefully them as a workhorse to kind
Mm-hmm.
of ease up that pressure on Aaron Rodgers. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about that more next week when we do our predictions and everything like that. Feels like a fly flew in my mouth.
Mm.
Um, um, let's move on to the Broncos, Miss Adelia.
Okay.
I mean, 3-0.
3-0
Again,
in the preseason. It's good.
don't mean
It's good.
nothing,
Don't mean nothing, but it's good.
but it's good.
You never want to lose a game, even if it's preseason. You just don't want to lose. Like that's what these players are competitive. That's the whole mentality of an athlete is you don't want to lose. So it's good that they won. The wins mean nothing. They had a good preseason. They had a good training camp. I don't really know what to say about the roster very much. There wasn't too many surprises in the 53. They did cut Lavelle Bailey, who's an inside linebacker. I think he's gonna end up on the practice squad and probably moved back into the team at some point. That was kind of a surprise because he had played really well in the preseason, and everybody thought he was going to make the 53, but he didn't. Andre Estime got cut. He's probably going to sign with the Titans, I heard. Um, he was falling down the depth chart. So he's gone. Sam Ellinger probably going to sign to the practice squad. I would think we're only keeping 2 quarterbacks on our roster, which is Bo Nix and Jarrett Stidham. Stidham was very good in preseason. I'm perfectly happy with him as the backup quarterback. I feel like if Bo Nix gets injured, he'll come in and do a pretty good job. I wouldn't want him as my starting quarterback, but I think he's a good solid backup when I look at some of the other backups around the league, and I'm just like, I'm glad we have this guy. Um, we have our wide receiver core: Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, and Trent Sherfield. I don't know too much about Sherfield or Pat Bryant, but the 3 at the front, Sutton, Mims, and Franklin, I'm expecting some big things from them. They have good chemistry with Bo Nix, and Troy Franklin does need to improve a little bit this season. It's his second year now. He needs to show a little bit of growth. We'll get more into that later. Um, Nothing else really surprising on the roster, really. I mean, we put 2 people on short term. We put my Drew Sanders, excuse me, on short term IR. I guess Michael Burton, the fullback, is on season ending IR, according to what I'm reading
does
here.
does anybody is anybody actually a fullback anymore?
I mean, I don't know.
I
He's
know we have someone listed as a fullback, but
Yeah.
also the tight end.
I feel like he's just there to block. He doesn't do anything else. So I don't know. I guess they call that a fullback still. I don't know. Jeremy in the chat saying he's genuinely shocked how good Stidham looked in preseason. I think that Stidham fits well into Sean Payton's system, and that's why I think that it worked well in preseason. That's why I think if he gets an opportunity to play in the regular season, he'll be fine. I don't want him to play in the regular season because I don't want Bo Nix to get hurt. But I think
Unless it's a blowout.
unless it's a blowout, put Stidham in if it's a blowout, and you need to rest Bo Nix. But I think Stidham did really well in the preseason. He did look really good. Um, I didn't get to see this match against the Saints because it wasn't on TV here and it wasn't on NFL Network, so I don't know what happened in it. But we won 28-19. I think it was Sean Payton's first time back in the Superdome in New Orleans since he left the Saints. I don't think he's coached a game against the Saints in New Orleans in the 2 years he's been the Broncos head coach. So I he got that out of the way in any case.
Did
I
he get
don't think
booed? I
I don't
wonder if he
know.
got booed.
I have no idea because I didn't get to see the game. So yeah, that's the Broncos basically. I don't have too much. The running backs are going to be very different this year than they were last year. Jeremy saying he wants to see if RJ Harvey can stand out. He got some overlooks with how deep this running back class is. I agree with that. Our running backs are going to be very different this year with Estime being cut and Javante Williams is gone. Not that Javante Williams was any good whatsoever for us last year. I'm glad he's gone. And I'm really looking forward to this running back class group. I mean, and seeing how it does. It's R.J. Harvey, Tyler Batty, Jaleel McLaughlin, and J.K. Dobbins. I think R.J. Harvey's probably going to be the second running back, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm pretty happy with the group. We've got Evan Ingram at tight end, along with three others that I haven't really ever heard of, and Nate Adkins is listed as a tight end fullback, so I guess he's filling that fullback role this year. But yeah, that's the Broncos.
Yeah, and real quick, with Steelers 53 man roster, one of the surprises for me was Beanie Bishop Jr. being cut. He played really well for us last year, and a lot of people were saying that hopefully they bring him back, but feels like another team in the AFC North will pick him up right away.
Yeah.
Probably Baltimore.
Hello, Ferris. How are you? He says, "Woo."
What up, Muthana? Demarvin Lay.
Mm-hmm.
He was also cut from the Steelers. Cut Robert Woods was cut. James Pierre, and our front 53 man, or Corey Trice Jr. was placed on injury reserve and designated for return. Corey Trice has played real well for us, but he has been hurt a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided to put him on injury reserve. Yeah, we're going with four quarterbacks.
That's a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah, yeah. It's very strange. Very strange.
Yeah, it's strange.
Three is usually like we would see. Obviously two, but like
Yeah.
three is like okay. Four,
Four.
especially
Yeah.
Will Howard being hurt, is very
I
interesting.
I wonder if they're keeping four because Will Howard is hurt, and there's the possibility Rodgers could have like he did with the Jets. So they'd have two there if Rodgers gets hurt in the first game.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
You especially being an older quarterback. Only three running backs: Kenneth Gainwell, Caleb Johnson, the rookie, and Jalen Warren. Uh, tight ends. We have a tight end fullback and Connor Haywood, uh, Smith from the Miami that we traded, Darnell Washington, who everyone seems to be really high on because he's so huge, and obviously Pat Firemood staying with us.
Mm-hmm.
Wide receiver core is where I'm a little worried. Calvin Austin III, who is currently hurt, DJ Metcalf, Scotty Miller, Ben. I will not be able to pronounce this name. Skowronek.
No
I have
idea.
no idea. And Roman Wilson. So that's like, obviously outside of DJ Metcalf, like who are these guys?
Yeah.
Kind of situation.
Yeah.
Um,
That's one
yeah,
thing
go ahead.
about the Broncos that I like is that we have a like good, well established wide receiver core. Even if I don't really know who Pat Bryant and Trent Sherwood are at the moment, or Sherfield or whatever his name is. I'm sorry, I messed that up. Um, but we have a they have a good the main wide receivers that are probably going to be playing the most have a good rapport with Bo Nix. Like when you don't have that, like Aaron Rodgers is new. A lot of your wide receivers, you're not really sure who they are. That could be some chemistry issues in the first few games.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we do know that DK went out and worked out with Aaron Rodgers. So
Hmm.
I mean, we'll see how much that helps.
Hopefully that helps. Did Aaron play at all in the preseason?
No, he didn't play at all.
Yeah. So
But he
I
did
I
have all the wide receivers go out to Cali, I think. And there's like a picture of all of them: Pat Firemuth, DK. I think Roman Wilson was there. Al
that's
Calvin was
good.
there.
So hopefully they had a chance to establish some chemistry, but in a game setting, it might be a little rough at
No,
first.
yeah, definitely for sure. Some other news. We'll go into just trades and cuts throughout the NFL. Kenny Pickett, small hands, traded to the Raiders.
Hmm.
Uh, and will be QB2 because Aiden O'Connell is out for 6 to 8 weeks with a fractured wrist.
Yeah. So he'll be backing up. What is it, Geno Smith in Vegas? Yeah, just
Yes.
Geno Smith. Ferris is walking around the wide receiver room and yelling, "Who are you people?" I mean, sure.
Speaking of the Browns, some Browns news. Deshaun Watson to start the season on pub.
Hmm.
Um, but also too, they released Tyler Huntley, Deontay Johnson, and because they traded Kenny Pickett, the QBs for the Browns is going to be Joe Flacco number one. Um, I can't think of
Dylan
the name of
Gabriel, number
Darren
two.
Gabriel and Shador Sanders number three.
Hmm.
Um, you know,
Yeah.
I think even Ryan asked you today, what do we think about that? Dylan Gabriel being the number 2 and Shador being the number 3.
I think there's a chance that as the season goes on that might swap. It really depends on how they, if they have to play, cuz who knows, Flacco again, 40-year-old quarterback could get hurt any moment too. Um Dylan Gabriel, I think it did okay in preseason from what I was able to see. I think Shador did okay in preseason. Maybe they're giving Gabriel the edge because of training camp stuff that I didn't see or whatever. But I do think there's a chance that that swaps during the season. What about you?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it could swap, and I think we're going to most likely see a rookie because they're both rookies, right?
They're
So
both
rookie
rookies,
quarter,
yeah.
we're probably going to see a rookie quarterback starting. So I don't think Joe Flacco's making it
I don't think so either. I don't think
through the whole season.
Flacco's gonna. I mean, like I know he did well for them last year and stuff, and that's why he's QB1 right now. But I just don't. I can't see him being QB1 at the end of the season.
100%, 100%. And so I think that is we'll see what happens with that.
Hmm.
Um, this
Uh,
uh,
Jeremy here saying he roots for Shador, but he is so tired of this narrative. He's getting sabotaged. Gabriel was good in college and was a Heisman candidate. Yeah, this is entirely down to the Browns for drafting both of them, in my opinion. I think that Dylan Gabriel has made some comments that a lot of people interpreted were about Shador and maybe not actually about Shador. And I think that Shador, a lot of people just don't like Shador's attitude because he's Dion's son. I don't know. I grew up in Colorado. I didn't go to the University of Colorado, but I followed Colorado last year. I think Shador is a perfectly capable quarterback. Whether he can do it at the NFL level, I don't know. Whether Dylan Gabriel can do it at the NFL level, I don't know. But I think we're going to find out with the Browns this year because I think there's a chance they both might get playing time.
yeah, and that quote about that we don't know is about Shador.
Yeah.
Oof,
It's
that sounded
definitely
personal.
it did
Yeah,
sound personal. Um I wonder if Dylan Gabriel felt maybe a little attacked and offended when the Browns also drafted Shador. Who knows? But Dylan Gabriel seems to have a different approach to the game and being part of a team than Shador has. Like that happens. So we'll see. Jay saying, Suge, has your eyebrows always been that well defined or did you get them shaped up?
okay, I'll keep it 100. My eyebrows look like Wolverine half the time. My girlfriend fixes them up for me.
Okay.
Because if I wake when I wake up in the morning, they're like down this way, and they're like
Yeah.
even right now, like I have to like
Yeah.
straighten them. She actually has to do them
I
again,
am
but she
I
fixes them
barely
for me.
have eyebrows, so
I mean, I'd rather have. I mean, you see these things. See, with no
I would rather
goatee,
have
these
well
things.
defined eyebrows.
I know, but with no goatee, this thing just takes over my whole face.
I bet.
So so
I
with the
bet.
goatee, kind of makes it look a little
Yeah.
better. But thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, I think that I think Shador is a capable. A lot of people are upset that Pittsburgh didn't draft him.
Mhm.
There's comments made by Ryan Clark who said we should have drafted him first round. Um,
Yeah, I
I don't
think what
know.
happened to Shador on draft day was weird. Like when everybody was projecting him to go in the first round, maybe the second round, and he was still sitting there for so long. I find that very strange. And then he gets drafted by a team that already drafted another quarterback. I don't know. It's just weird what happened to Shador on draft day to get him to end up in Cleveland. I think maybe his attitude needs to be a little more team friendly than it currently has been, and that might be why he's QB3. But I think he'll get there. I just think he's a kid. Like every kid is going to be different when they first walk into a team, and when he suddenly realizes he's not the guy anymore like he was in Colorado, I think that his attitude will adjust, and I do think he'll play this year.
Yeah, for sure. Some other trades. Cowboys trade O lineman Osman
Asim,
Richards, Asim
Asim, I think.
Richards to the Asim Richards to the Saints. Seahawks trade offensive tackle Michael Jarrell to the Falcons. Rams trade O line KT Livingston to the Browns.
Yep.
Any of these trades excite you? Make any of these teams Super Bowl contenders?
I have no idea who any of these players are somehow.
No, we don't know.
Um, Jeremy saying during the draft, Mel Kiper was losing his mind was so funny despite how annoying the coverage was. Yeah, I didn't get to see much of the draft this year, but I bet. Do you want to talk about some of the other like news or
I mean, we could do the cut and releases
yeah?
if you want. Broncos wave running back. Help me with the name here. I'm
Audric,
horrible with names.
you with names on this show is like me dealing with Ferris and names on the rally. The Broncos waived Audric Estime, the running back that I was talking about a little bit ago, and Lavelle Bailey, inside linebacker. I think Bailey's probably going to end up on the practice squad. I think Estime's going to the Titans, from what I heard. The Seahawks released Marquez Valdez-Scantling. We talked about the Browns releasing Tyler Huntley and Deontay Johnson. Panthers released Hunter Renfrow,
That
and
is surprising.
that was
That is
surprising to me too.
Jay, can you give us an explanation?
Yeah, Jay in the chat, if you know anything more about that, let me know. They also released defensive tackle Shai Tuttle. The Commanders released defensive end Cleveland Farrell. Cowboys released Israel Mukamu, defensive back, and the Packers released cornerback Corey Ballantyne. I don't really know much about any of those players, but yeah. Ferris saying he wasn't a 5th-round talent. He may not have been a 1st-round talent, but round 5, nah. The NFL tried to bully him, and then they realized, oh shit, he is Dion's kid. I mean, yeah, that could be. He also has a problem with the Eastern European names of tennis players.
I do. Another one cut that or release that Ferris would be happy about. Tommy DeVito.
Oh, did I not put that on there? I should have. Tommy DeVito gone.
Yeah,
Tommy Cutlets or whatever they called him, with his mafia-looking agent, is gone.
Ferris says that means they're keeping Adam Thielen.
Yeah,
well, I've been hearing they're shopping him around.
I heard they were trying to work something out with the Vikings to get him back to Minnesota. So I don't know about that one.
So the Giants have the dub eating Winston. I can't think of his name right now. God, why is it?
Ferris is very happy Tommy DeVito is gone.
Jameson Winston. And
Jameis Winston. Russell Wilson and Jackson Dart are the quarterbacks they kept.
Ooh, excuse me. So I think Ferris is happy about that.
Yeah, I think Ferris is happy about that. Jay saying that's some bullshit, but since David Moore can play special teams, has an established connection with Bryce, and he has been sleeping with the coach, were the reasons he was chosen over Renfrow. Wow, Jay.
Wow. Sleeping with the coach.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy also says Jameis Winston continues to survive in the league, which is true. He does.
He really does. Because he keeps eating those dubs. He keeps doing it, you know? Mm-hmm. Some of the news that we can talk about real quick. I think. Go ahead.
Let's just say that the Texans' safety Jimmy Ward is on the commissioner exempt list because he's an absolute asshole if what he did to his fiance is true. And I don't want to get into what he did to his fiance because it's horrifying. And apparently he did it in front of their 3-year-old child, which is even worse. So he's been arrested twice this summer, once in June 12th for the initial thing, and then once on August 7th, violating his previous release conditions. Long may he continue to be on the commissioner exempt list if what he did is true, and I hope he goes to jail if what he did is true. It's alleged what he did at the moment, but what he did is true. He should be in jail.
Absolutely, 100%.
And Nakobe Dean, the Eagles linebacker, has indicated he'll start the season on the PUP list because of his torn. He's recovering still from his torn patellar tendon.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Jay's saying, joking about the less sex, but as long as Canelas has a position somewhere, Dave Moore has had a job.
I mean, okay. I mean, sure. Yeah, I don't really know too much about the Panthers and all of that, but I'm gonna learn because I got to produce the LBHT show now, so I got to learn all this Ravens and Panthers stuff to keep up.
There you go. Shout out to LBHT and Hendo and all those great people over there.
Yep.
We're going to get into just kind of looking ahead for both the Broncos and the Steelers. We kind of got into it a little bit when we were talking about the preseason, but we'll kind of do it right now. Before we get into that, Adelia, make sure if you are watching right now, if you are new here, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to comment. Make sure to share this out if you can. And then also, too, there are some links in the description that will either get you to the LBA, or sorry, the Let's Get Ready Network website, or the link. Is there a link tree?
It's not a link tree. There's just links in the description to our Patreon, our Ko-fi page, our Buy Me a Coffee page. There's also our Cash App and Venmo if you feel interested in giving us a small donation or a donation of any kind. All the money we get from those goes back into the channel, helps pay for the graphics and the cool videos and the awesome backgrounds that Danny makes, like the one we have here for the Steel Conspiracy podcast, and other stuff that helps with the podcast, like maintaining the website, which I redesigned this past weekend. So go check it out. Let's Get Ready Network.com or lgrn.online.
Make sure to check that out. So, Adelia,
Yes.
we'll start with the Broncos.
Okay.
Who is a breakout star? Who will be the breakout star, or who do you think will be the breakout star for the Broncos?
Jonah Ellis. He's an edge rusher. Last year was his rookie season, but he has plenty of room for improvement. He has a great football IQ. He's always making plays. He's proven to have a pretty good potential as a pass rusher, and he's really good at also disrupting the run game. And he was absolutely great in preseason, so I'm expecting a big year out of him.
Okay. For me, for the Steelers, I went with the obvious choice, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Last year, he had 3,897 yards, 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 90.5 rating, 63% completion rating. I think
Yeah.
he could do better with that with this year. And if he can do better, that is a improvement for us. So
Yes.
I actually think he's going to have a breakout season. I am calling for 4,300 yards, 30 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's what I'm calling for this year.
It's a little weird to me to say Aaron Rodgers is going to be a breakout star because he's Aaron Rodgers. If he has a good season,
I
you
mean,
expect it. But yeah,
yeah, but I mean, the year 2023,
compared to his last few
he
years,
didn't,
him having a
yeah,
good season would be a breakout. So I get what you're going for there. But yeah, it's a little weird.
it is a little weird. I mean, my second choice would be Caleb Johnson. Obviously, there's rookie running back that we got because as much as I love Jalen Warren, he's not a everyday back, so we're gonna need someone to be able to do that.
Yeah. Jeremy talking about the Broncos here. I think it's Barron. Is that Jade Barron? I think you're talking about. I can see Dre Greenlaw stepping up since he left the Niners. Yeah, I'm expecting big years out of both of them too. But I really think Jonah Ellis has a chance to become a star this year with the way he's playing time. Jay saying Hufanga is his dark horse on the Broncos. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier in the voice chat in our Discord, which again you can join for free. Anybody can join. Link in the description or ! Discord gets you the link on Twitch.
Jay must have our notes because we are going to talk about some dark horse. But before we talk about the dark horse, let's get into players that need to step up this year or have a good season.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, who do you got for the Broncos?
Troy Franklin. He's being sort of trusted with a little bit more position on the depth chart, but he could slide right back down that depth chart if he has a year like his rookie year. He had a lot of drops his rookie year, a lot of poor fundamentals. He needs to show improvement given the talent that we have in our wide receiver group, and he needs to take his chances, or he's going to go right back down that depth chart.
For sure. I think for me, it is our edge rusher linebacker combo: T.J. Watt, Nick Herbert, Alex Highsmith. Um, we just paid T.J. Watt, and
Mm-hmm.
he had a decent year, but we need him to be a lot more impactful that the TJ Watt the year prior was, who really carried that defense. I think the defense has gotten better. We've gotten
Mm-hmm.
better corners. We got the linebackers now. We got the nose tackles. You still got Hayward, but we need you to, get those turnovers for us. Get Aaron Rodgers the ball as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not just going to put it on TJ Watt. I am going to put it on Highsmith, Herbert, um, and they all need to just step up and have a big year for us. Hopefully, we can get TJ Watt the defensive player of the year player again, or Alex Highsmith, who's in that kind of conversation. But I need those guys to really step up this year
Got to
for
take it
for
away
us.
from Pat Surtain, my boy. Um, for me, if we're going to dark horse players now, I think it's going to be Riley Moss on the Broncos. He started 14 games last year. He had 86 tackles, 65 of them solo, 1 interception. He defensed 8 passes, got 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. I think that can improve this year. I think he's going to get a little bit more playing time. I think he's going to learn from the veterans around him. Um, I also just love this kid. He's from the town my grandfather lived in Iowa, and I have a soft spot for him. So he's my dark horse for the year for the Broncos.
My dark horse for the Steelers is going to be Roman Wilson. Last year he was hurt most of the season, didn't really get to play, and this year Aaron Rodgers is kind of mentoring him, holding him to a higher standard. He talks about it in an interview. I think he's improving every day. You can't school the results from details. You can look at this game the other night and made a couple splash plays, but we're going to coach him hard. Uh, they're really gonna, 'cause again, we have DJ Kemp Metcalf, but we don't really know who else we have. And so I think that if you're going to get that kind of push from your starting quarterback, you're going to have to show up. And especially you've been hurt last year. This year you're healthy. Let's see what you can do. So I think he's a dark horse for me, especially with Aaron Rodgers talking him up and kind of putting a lot on his shoulders for this year.
Yeah. Let's look at some comments. Jeremy saying it might be Jonnu Smith depending on how Arthur Smith wants to use him.
I don't know if it's going to be Jonathan Smith because I think Darnell Washington is going to be that. Like Pat Fryermuth is the Steelers' tight end, but I think Darnell Washington, and there was rumors out there that the Commanders wanted Pat Fryermuth and like a second rounder for Terry McLaurin. I don't know if that was really offered. I don't know why we didn't take that offer.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you have
someone like Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, but if you have Smith, you have a Darnell Washington. Those kind of take the place of Pat Fryermuth, and now you have DK with Terry McLaurin. Like,
yeah, that would have been a good deal for you guys if you could have.
So I don't. If that is true, I'm very disappointed because as much as I love Pat and he is a Steeler type player, Darnell Washington has got the size, he can block, and in the red zone he's going to be important because he's got that size to go up and get a ball. Especially in the red zone when it's hard to get touchdowns, and that's where we struggled last year. So, as much as I love Pat, I think Darnell is going to be the guy, whereas Jeremy is saying Smith, where I think it's going to be Darnell Washington. I think he's going to be that guy, and we might even see a change where he gets more starts than Pat. So we'll see what happens, especially in that Arthur Smith offense.
Ferris calling Riley Moss an exciting white. Okay.
Wow. Only Ferris.
Only Ferris.
Only
I mean,
Ferris.
probably not only Ferris, but definitely Ferris.
Definitely Ferris. Okay. Anything else before we move on? You want to talk about with the Broncos?
I'm just excited, man. I don't really analyze football the way that a lot of the people like you and the LBHT guys and Ferris and Caleb on Good Friends Better Rivals. I don't really analyze football like that. I just watch it and enjoy it. I'm just looking forward to the season starting. We'll get more into that next week, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, I mean, nobody analyzes it like Ferris. Like he knows people's like where they went to high school,
Ferris,
elementary.
literally will quote things and stats from stuff 20 years before he was born. And I'm like, how do you retain all this information in your head? I can barely remember what I had for breakfast.
It was funny. I mean, little tangent. We were talking about UFC and stuff like that. And you asked him that question, like, how do you know these things?
Yeah. Ferris saying that's what NFL fans call white cornerbacks and Christian McCaffrey. Yeah. Okay. Deeper playoff push for the Broncos? I hope so. I hope we, manage to get in more than just the wild card spot, but I don't think we're beating the Chiefs really this year for the division title, so I'm guessing we would be a wild card and then maybe a better showing than we had last year against the Bills. Although I think we started that game well. We took the lead and then it just all fell apart. But I'm hoping that this year the playoffs would be better. Ferris saying Darnell Washington is a left tackle.
No, he's not a left tackle. He's a tight end. What are you talking about, Ferris?
And
He's a
Jay
tight end.
saying
He's a
Jay
tight end
asking
from Georgia.
Jay asking Ferris, no Danny Woodhead. Fun fact. I'll give a fun fact since Ferris isn't here. Danny Woodhead, born and raised in the town I live in, North Platte, Nebraska.
I thought you were going to go with, well, here's the thing.
No. Fun fact. That's a fun fact. Ferris, full of fun facts that may not actually be facts. That one, actual fun fact.
There you go.
This town was full of New England Patriots and Chargers and whatever team he played for. They sold merch here for that team because he was from here.
There you go. Fun fact.
There's no professional sports in Nebraska, so.
Fun fact. Chuck Norris went to my high school.
That's cool.
I guess. I don't know. I wasn't a big Chuck Norris fan. I was a Bruce Lee fan. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Bowen Yang from SNL is probably the most famous graduate of my high school, but he graduated like 8 years after I did.
Okay. Yeah, for the Steelers, I think that I see a lot of people picking us to win the division. And it's very interesting. One thing I did heard, and I do agree with the Ravens, injuries. They haven't had an injury-filled season, and that might come up this year. I think we all agree, people that watch the game, the Bengals have a great offense. Mm-hmm. Defense is not that great.
Yeah.
And the Browns are the Browns.
Browns are the Browns.
Yeah. So I feel like if the Steelers can just get their offense going, we could do some good things this year. But if we start off 0-4, 0-5, 0-2, what are Steelers fans going to do? Because they turn on Mike Tomlin. They might turn on Mike. They might have turned on Mike Tomlin when he lost the preseason game. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens. But a lot of this first game is going to tell me where it's going to go. If we have a dominant defensive game and our offense can put up some points, I'll be happy. If we have a close game, we get lucky, I'm going to be very, very worried. So we'll see what happens. But we're going to talk about that next week.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. But who is your first game against?
The Jets.
The Jets. Oh, yeah, that's right. Our first game is against the Titans. I'm fully expecting us to win that game pretty easily because I don't think the Titans are very good. But yeah. Ferris saying I have to bowl leave because it will be bowlicious for Knicks. How long have you been waiting to say that to me, Ferris? And I'm not putting the rest of that conversation up because, yeah. Anyways. Let's move on.
Oh my God!
What do you want to talk about next, Suge?
Let us go into let's go into the Jackson story because I think that is really tough. I don't want to spend too much time on it because it's very sad.
It is very sad.
So I love wrestling. Adelia loves wrestling. She doesn't love some companies.
I don't love
if you watched our live stream of, I believe it was SummerSlam, you would know who I'm talking about.
The end of SummerSlam Night 2. I'm ensured I will never watch that company again.
There you go. If you don't know Rampage Jackson was a UFC fighter, Pride fighter, champion. He has some sons who are also getting kind of into UFC or mixed martial arts. Rampage Jackson did do some wrestling. I believe it was for TNA for a minute, but not really. It was one of those things like celebrity or
celebrity kind of match thing. Yeah.
So he has a son, Raja Jackson. I believe, what was the company's name?
Knox Pro.
Knox Pro. So they had a
wrestling show.
Yeah, wrestling show over the weekend, I believe.
I think it was over the weekend, yeah.
Yeah. And from the initial footage, Raja jumps in the ring, and he spine busters Psycho Stu. Looks normal. Okay, this is a spot. But then we're not going to show the video. If you want to look it up, go ahead. Uh-huh. But then he starts. When he slams him pretty good.
He knocked him out with the slam. It's pretty clear.
But then he starts raining down punches, and these are not wrestling punches.
Mm-mm.
These are UFC
Actual
MMA
punches.
punches.
Yeah.
And I think he hit him like 7 times before someone realized it was real.
Yeah.
Tried to stop it. He pushed them off, kept hitting him. Probably got 4 more punches in. And then they tackled him.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe you gave the name, uh, the epic Douglas Malone, who's the
Yeah.
one
Is the
that
one that
tackled.
got him off of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Now this was the initial video. Very sad. Stu ended up being actually in a coma, I believe,
Yeah. I think he is. Yeah.
and had to go to the hospital. What Adelia didn't like, and she told me this, is they still pinned him in the match.
Yeah, there's video of this. If anyone would like the video, I can put it in our Discord. But they get Raja Jackson off of him. The referee is there. He looks at Stu, and then he gets the guy that was wrestling Stu to actually pin him and counts the 1, 2, 3, and then they proceed with medical attention. That's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely. I mean, when you realize that he was actually hitting him, the match should have been stopped. It should have been over. Um, but then we
Yeah,
got some backstory. We got some videos. So earlier that day, um, Stu, Roger,
absolutely,
have,
Jay. The fact that they still pinned
yeah,
him was classless.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
You see them out back of the building. There's a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
wrestlers there. They're kind of just talking. Stu takes a can, puts his hand on Raja, and hits him. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks like it actually hits him. Raja looks upset because I think he didn't know what happened. Like,
No.
just happened out of nowhere. But
I
then they're
mean,
like kind of talking, and they're like, like joking and things like that. Um,
yeah.
we'll start off there. What did you think of that?
I mean, I the sort of like interactions with the crowd when you're a wrestler, I think you can go too far, but I don't think Stu necessarily went too far here. I think Raja's reaction to Stu doing this is way too far. But I watch AEW. I've seen MJF grab fans' drinks out of the crowd and throw it on them and stuff like that. That's one thing. I don't blame Stu for this in any capacity, but if you're gonna like smash something on a person's head, even if you put your hand there and then do it, you need to like talk to them first, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I don't blame him because the weird thing is, it happens. They talk. You can tell Raja's frustrated, but then there's another video of them apologizing to each other and
Mhm.
having a conversation.
Mhm.
Like, hey, my bad. Da, da, da. So we're like, okay. Then you sent me a video of while the match is going on, Raja is sitting.
From Raja's Kick stream.
Yeah,
We'll talk about Kick in a minute.
he's sitting in the spectator seats,
Mhm.
and he's on Kick, and he's like, I'm gonna
He's
beat the
talking to
shit.
someone on the phone
Yeah,
while he's on Kick. Someone's live streaming him while he's talking on the phone. Yeah.
yeah,
You know what, Justin?
and
If you want to hop on for a second, that would be great. Get your opinion.
um, and he starts talking about how he is gonna hit this guy.
Yeah,
He's gonna beat the shit out.
he's gonna like get in the ring and hit him. Yeah, like
And was the slam a spot, or did he just?
I don't think that this was a spot. I don't think he was supposed to do that. I don't think any of that was supposed to happen. I haven't heard that that was a planned like spot or anything like that. And it looks like he just got in the ring, grabbed Psycho Stu, spine busted him, and then beat the shit out of him.
And that's where you think it was a spot because it was a spine buster. It wasn't like a
Yeah, but
unorthodox
like Stu
slam.
was standing up, so I think Raja just did the one thing he could think of to get him down to hit him. Let's bring Hambone on right now. Hi, Justin. How you doing?
What's up? So yeah, I got a little bit of a thing from the past, like with wrestling. So a couple of things. Home dude had the camera. The wrestler guy was probably told like, "Hey, we got a streamer here. It's Rampage Jackson's son. He's gonna like be maybe involved in this a little bit. Maybe not in an actual wrestling match because like if you actually watch like all the stuff leading up to it, when he actually so they get up there, then the guy's like, I don't know who you are, to the wrestler. And the wrestler actually looks down, and if you notice, he don't just like grab anything. He on purpose grabs like either a half empty or almost empty can that was already open. So all it does is like fold up super easy. So he like reaches down, he like notices that one's like empty, it's not gonna hurt, and then he does the little thing like, oh, because like what Raja said was kind of like disrespectful, you know, kind of to him, but the wrestler guy is just like trying to be like part of the show kind of deal.
Yeah.
And then once it goes down, he realized, oh, Raja didn't know like something like that could happen, or he wasn't down for it. He apologizes, and then they get the idea of like, hey, you can come on and you can be in the wrestling match, and we'll let you, you know, get a little get back. I'll let you come in during my match, basically. And they set it up for Raja to actually come into the ring. He didn't come into the ring without them knowing. The wrestler knew he was going to be involved in the match at that point. They set it up.
Okay.
So he was going to come in and like basically slam the wrestler. That was part of the thing. That's why the wrestler let him do it, because it was supposed to be part of the deal. So
I hadn't
Raja,
heard that, so thanks for the clarification.
yeah. So like he apologizes. Raja's like, all right, cool, I get it. He even admits like, I get it. And they even handshake. They walk away, and then like I said, they start. Okay, cool. Like this happened. It was kind of an accident. We're gonna let Raja be actually part of the show, get into the ring, and like slam this guy, body slam this guy, or whatever. And then it'd be like, oh yeah, cool. Like this is kind of my apology. I'm letting you get involved in my match and like slam me or whatever. So that stuff happens. Then we have shots of a wrestler backstage that's like kind of pumping Raja up a little bit, like, oh yeah, get that receipt, man. You know what I'm talking about. Go in there and get yours. And what a receipt means is like, say like old school wrestlers back in the day wrestling, and one of them's real stiff. So basically what that means is they're actually punching and it feels like it's a real punch instead of a fake punch. And then the other wrestler would get what they call his receipt. Like, oh, he'll forearm him, but instead of doing the wrestling forearm, he hits him for real to get a little get back. Then that other wrestler realizes, oh, I've been a little too rough, so I need to like be a little softer with what I'm doing here and everything else, because obviously wrestling's fake. So you have that happen. Then he goes out and he sits like in the crowd, like where he's supposed to. He's clearly set up to where he can easily get over the barricade to get into the ring like he ends up doing. So he's sitting there and he's on the stream. And basically what's happening is there's people on there gassing him up again, saying like, oh, you're a little bitch. I can't believe you let that guy hit you with that can, because that was streamed too. And he literally says, basically talking to the chat, like, oh, how many subs do I get if I go out there and crash out? So he's basically like saying he's going to go out there and do something technically he's not supposed to do at this point. He even talks to his dad for a second while he's in the crowd, and his dad doesn't know how serious it is or whatever. His dad's talking to him, and he's like, I ain't gonna be no bitch, man. I ain't gonna be no bitch, man. You know, nobody's gonna tell me that. So then the part in the match where he's supposed to come in, like the other wrestler, the Stu guy, hits the other guy or slams the other guy or whatever, and that guy rolls out of the way on purpose. That leaves, oh, this is the signal for Raja to come in. So Raja does this thing. He goes in there. So he grabs him. Everything's supposed to be kosher right here, and he slams him. Now, because he's not a professional wrestler and he's like a real fighter, or he's at least been trained, I don't think he's any good at real fighting. I think he's been beat a bunch. But like, because his dad's a UFC fighter and he's been real famous and stuff, like he's actually been trained. So he goes in there, picks him up, and does like a sort of almost like a wrestle maneuver, but he doesn't do all the things that you need to do to protect the guy you're slamming. But that's not on him at that point. That's him not being trained, so maybe he messes up and slams him too hard, and his head bounces off the mat, and that's what knocks him out. Then, at that point, that's whenever you see what he does. He gets like, I've heard reports anywhere between 15 and like 25 free punches to the dude's like face, which could have killed almost anybody. Luckily, this guy was built like a tank, so like he didn't, or he was just a big guy. So like as of right now, he's not dead. He probably is going to have like lifetime nerve damage and stuff like that. But yeah, all the punches after that, everything through the slam, all that's fine. If he would have just got up and been like, take that, and left the ring, everything would have been cool. It's the punches after that where, to be honest with you, man, I think there's going to be something kind of funny going on if he doesn't get like at least attempted manslaughter at that point. Because especially with him being trained, so when he hits somebody, it's not like a normal person hitting somebody. And him just keep doing it. Maybe if he had hit him once or twice and then caught himself or whatever, maybe there's not even a big deal. the wrestler might not
It was
even
a
press
lie.
charges.
It was a lie.
Yeah.
And for that guy to be already knocked out and the way
Mhm.
he was hitting him was wild.
Yeah. Jeremy says his chat seemed to be influencing him to do it for clout. Well, he definitely got it, but now he should spend time in prison. I totally agree. Jeremy also saying if you're going to do real punches, at least make sure the opponent is safe. Otherwise, why are you doing it? And Ferris says calling yourself a wrestler is a stretch, Justin.
No, I actually got paid. It was a little bit of money. I never was like
Mm-hmm.
professional level, obviously, on one of the big things. But when
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
younger, I actually went around to the local like farm centers, is what they call them, like little places like that, and like
Mm-hmm.
did matches and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is like when you're at a wrestling event like that and you're a wrestler, like
Mm-hmm.
you try to basically put yourself into the mindset of like I'm this character and that kind of thing. So you try to like if somebody notices you or something, you're going to act like your character most of the time. Something like MJF, like you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
MJF like flipping off little kids and stuff like that because he's supposed to
Yeah,
be the bad
yeah.
guy and everything. But he's not like that real life. And like I said, this guy literally Raja comes up there. He thinks it's part of the thing because he sees all these people filming. And then Raja says something like talking trash to him, basically. And he looks down and it's like, oh, I'm going to grab this because it's safe. Because he doesn't just automatically grab it. He looks at it for a second and then he kind of grabs it. And then he like kind of walks over there. And then when he hits him like in pretty much a safe way. It looks like he throws his hand up there and he tries to hit some of his hand even when he did it. Raja didn't even like sell it or nothing. Like he wasn't even phased by it. And that's another thing. Like I could almost see if he would have got like a minor injury, maybe like a cut or something like that, and all this kind of stuff. But bro, you got hit with an empty can. If you're a guy and you've drank beer in your life, you gotten a little tipsy or whatever, you do the whole, and you do it even the hard way. You don't even do it from the side of the can like the wrestler did. You'll grab it from the end and like, and smash the can and be like, whatever. But like them cans are made out of aluminum, man. They're not crap. It's not like you did him with like a weapon, like a true weapon or anything.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Suge, what are
So,
your thoughts?
I mean, this is probably the issue of why it's hard to bring in people that are non-wrestlers because you don't know what's real, what's not real. Even I mean, we've seen it before. I know you hate the guy, but Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar. I mean, Braun Strowman need the crap out of Brock Lesnar. You know, and Brock Lesnar hit him one time, let him know, hey, you're being a little too rough, and then they were fine.
Yeah,
like things like this happen.
There's like an etiquette to wrestling.
Yeah,
like it's not necessarily rules. It's more like unwritten rules, like they have in baseball. There's like things you're supposed to do and things you're not.
Yeah.
And Raja Jackson doesn't know that because he's not a wrestler. Like Justin said, he's a fighter, and he went way too far. Way too far. If the spine buster and all that was just part of the show that they had negotiated,
and he accidentally knocks him out,
that's one thing. But when he just wailed on him after that, that's where it crosses the line. And now Psycho Stu, you know, who knows if he's ever going to be the same again because of this. And we have some people on the internet. First, Rob Van Dam tweeted out that he's on Raja's side, and then he corrected it on his podcast and said Raja should probably do some jail time for this assault. Mark Henry thinks Psycho Stu is partially to blame. I don't know if I agree with that.
I mean, in any situation that involves more than one person, there's always going to be a partial blame to something, right?
Yeah.
So if the Psycho Stu wouldn't have made the mistake of the initial mistake of like, say, hitting him with like the beer can or whatever that was like open and everything else, then even though he apologized, you can be like, well, maybe this Raja character feels something about that or whatever, right? Because it wasn't a planned thing. So maybe he slams him a little harder than maybe he would have to begin with. But there's a difference between, okay, I'm going to come in and slam you, and then you slam the guy a little bit harder and he gets knocked out from it and you walk away. There's a difference between that and what he did. What he did, literally, I don't want him, if I'm around where he's at, I don't want him around. I wouldn't want to go to a bar where he's at. I wouldn't want to go anywhere actually where he's out roaming free, because I know he could be that guy that you literally accidentally bump in his shoulder or something at a club, and then like he's going to lose it, and he literally could kill someone, like literally kill them because of the way he acted. Like something's got to change. I don't know what it is, but definitely that kind of person doesn't need to be roaming around free will on the streets. That's just crazy. Like
Yeah.
the just snap. Like I said, even if he would have like snapped for a second, slams the guy, and then he gets a couple of punches, but then he catches himself and you realize that he knew he made a mistake really fast. It was something that just like got him. But it was if you're a lawyer on the Psycho side, you're going to be able to actually bring up this is premeditated.
Yeah.
Because he sat out in the crowd, he talked to his dad.
There's
and then he
video
turned around.
on it.
Yes.
Like
it doesn't
he's
look
in
good.
real trouble. Does not look good. The company Knox Pro Wrestling appears to be a wrestling academy. With the founders being one of the founders being Rikishi.
Yeah.
And Rikishi's having drama with everybody right now too.
Rikishi's having some drama. The promotion is also encouraging their wrestlers not to talk to the police without the incident, without talking to them first. I think that's bullshit. And Rampage Jackson has come out and threatened to beat up any wrestler who targets his son after this.
Another piece of information as well.
Yeah.
Is there's also just recently a video where it's Rampage Jackson and his son. I don't know why they keep filming these things.
They're like filming everything on camera.
Yeah.
Because I think they blog. They blog. That's why.
Yeah. So like Rampage Jackson and his son is in the same room and they're talking about the situation and his dad's like, you messed up and everything.
Oh, this situation, I didn't know that. But they blog.
Yeah, but they were actually filming them talking about this exact situation like not long ago. And Rampage was basically like, you messed up, son, you messed up. And then like his son's like, it's the cameraman's fault. He tried to blame the cameraman for filming the whole thing.
God.
And that's why he's in trouble and not the fact. See, that's what I'm talking about. Even after the fact, a day away. For one, if I would have snapped like this, bro, I would have been in shock. I would have stood there until I knew this guy was okay. I would have went with this guy to the hospital because I would have been super sympathetic about like that. Yo, I just fucked up real bad. I got to be with this guy. I got to make sure he's not dead. Hopefully he's not dead. I'm like praying to God at this point that like somebody can save this guy and that he's not dead. And my stupid reaction didn't cause a person to die. But like he leaves. But like I said, he's even trying to blame the cameraman because, well, bro, what did the cameraman have to do with you punching the guy?
Yeah.
Like that has nothing to do with anything. That's not why you're in trouble is because he filmed it. You're in trouble because you snapped, couldn't control yourself. You let a bunch of teenagers. I guarantee you his chat's filled with like 12 and 14-year-old boys or whatever, watching him do his little antics and stuff like that. And they're all in there. He let 12-year-olds like gas him up to be like, oh, I can't be seen as a bitch no more. He literally says that as he's walking to his car. I ain't gonna be seen like a bitch. Whoa, get your ass out of here. Could you imagine like if he doesn't go to jail and like he had like maybe somebody that doesn't know about this story, they don't know a lot about Roger because he's not super famous, and he like goes on a date with a woman and he like loses it on her.
Yeah, like this is he needs.
It's
to
really
go to
bad.
jail.
Yeah, it's really bad, and I think that at the end of the day, I understand what everybody's saying. I understand what Mark Henry's saying, but at the same time, this is why you can't when you bring in somebody that's not a wrestler, you have to have a conversation with them and say, hey, if this happens, it is we don't like to use the word fake, but we don't mean it. We don't mean it. We're not like trying to hurt you.
I think it's fine with AEW and WWE because they have all the lawyers, they have all these people that's there, they're making sure.
Well, they have a conversation.
Cool. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this kind of stuff right here, where you're at a small event, like this is obviously just a small event, not a lot of people's there. These kind of events, you've got people that they make decisions and they do things that they probably wouldn't have did because there's more people involved in like the WWE and actual like big scale wrestling. And these little small shows and stuff, like some of the fans want to get involved, like and they love it, right? They want to get hit with a steel chair by the guy or whatever, right? Like just goofing around and everything else in a lot of cases. Like I said, the Psycho Stu guy did make a mistake, but there's a difference. You see how he made a mistake and he like apologizes for it and he has sympathy. And then he even says, hey man, let's make this up, bro. I'm going to let you come in the ring and slam me. Like, let's set it up. Let's let you get your get back or whatever. I know what I did. You got mad about or whatnot. And I'm sorry I made a mistake. Like, so let me try to make it up. I'm going to let you slam me. like get hard in the ring and get a little comeback, and that ain't enough for that dude. Like I said, he went crazy. That's craziness. It's craziness.
That is crazy. It's unfortunate, and our prayers go out to Psycho Stu, and hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, there's a GoFundMe out there for him. People have noticed Chris Jericho has donated to it, and totally random, Kristaps Porzingis has also donated to it. Basketball player.
Must be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, and WWE had ties with Knox Pro Wrestling. It was a WWE ID promotion. They're doing that thing where they're trying to pick up indie talent as they're coming up and all that. That's been severed now. They've cut ties with Knox Pro over this.
It's unfortunate.
I think that's kind of bullcrap because I don't know if the Knox Pro Wrestling's involved in this. Now, I don't like what you just said about what they're telling the people is like, come talk to us before you talk to the cops.
Yeah, that's not right.
The cops should be talked to first and foremost, like without anything else.
Yeah, the accusations that they're telling people to not talk to the cops and talk to them first, it comes from a few of the wrestlers that were on the show, that were on a podcast, and they had screenshots and everything that they showed on this podcast of the company telling them to do that. Ferris, I said Kristaps Porzingis.
Pingus. Is that your safe word, Ferris?
Hey, that's what I think the name of Ferris is.
All right, Justin, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Justin.
Yeah, appreciate it. I just saw y'all talking about it, and I was like, oh shit! Like this is something I would have seen happen like with some random fans or something like that at a little show that's like these little small community shows and stuff. Because like I said, the fans just want to have fun. They want to be like into it and stuff like that. And they realize it's fake. And like I said, some of them, want to get hit with like a steel chair. Of course, like the wrestler's not going to hit like a fan as hard as he would maybe like one of his opponents or whatever, because they know more about what they're doing and they can block it better and stuff like that. But like, there's fans that want to have this kind of stuff happen to them. It's like fun as crap, like you was talking about earlier, MJF doing his thing. A lot of fans love the crap out of that because they get it.
Yeah.
They're the bad guy and everything else.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. I'm out.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Justin.
So unfortunate.
Okay. Let's move on.
Let's move on to kind of could have turned into to a situation with chairs. Real quick, I was watching something earlier. AI is getting out of control.
Yeah.
So there was like an argument in the U.S. Open. I don't know if it was real or not, but I have to go look for the video and show it to you. But they used AI, and the guy's arguing with the judge, and then he pulls the judge, the seat that he seats in, onto the ground. But it was the U.S. Open. And I was like, wait, is that real?
No, it's not real. It's not real. I would have heard about that if that was real. But,
yeah. So it was like, I was like, oh, I got to share this with Adelia, and then I fell asleep. But speaking of U.S. Open, one of your favorite sports, actually, I love tennis.
I love tennis, man.
Maria Sharapova, she was inducted into the...
She was inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame this past weekend.
Yeah. And so... when you usually get inducted to these things, you have someone that's going to induct you. And she had Serena Williams.
Yeah, it was a big surprise that Serena inducted Maria.
Yeah, and they talked to, Maria about it. She did an interview, and she said, look, when they told me I was going to get inducted, the person I thought of was Serena. And a lot of people are like, wait, why Serena? Because it seemed like y'all did not like each other.
Yeah.
The tea on that, there were, obviously, Maria rolls in, she rolls in as a 17-year-old, beats Serena in Wimbledon. Then there's this whole dating thing with Serena's ex-boyfriend. And there was interviews where Serena says something and Maria says something about the guy she was dating having kids and married. And, woo, that is Maury Jerry Springer stuff.
It got very personal for a while because of stuff like that when Maria was dating Grigor Dimitrov, who's reportedly one of Serena's ex-boyfriends. I think they've both grown and matured from that now, and that's why we've reached this point where they can be friends.
Yeah, and people talk about, well, this wasn't much of a rivalry.
It wasn't. Okay, let me make this extraordinarily clear. It was not a rivalry. Maria beat her twice when she was 17 and then never beat her again. Serena was like, I'm done with this. Maria was 2-1 in the head-to-head at that point. The head-to-head ended 20-2 in favor of Serena.
Yeah. Now, we talked about rivalries last week. The Lakers-Boston rivalry is the same kind of thing. Boston has beaten the Lakers like God knows how many times. I think it's only like 15-3, 18-3, something like that. Ferris would know the numbers. But the Lakers have only beaten Boston 3 times. Or sorry, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, actually no, 3
in the
times.
playoffs.
Yeah, in the NBA Finals, the Lakers are like it's like 18-3.
I'm gonna look it up. They've met 12 times in the NBA
Okay,
Finals.
so 9-3. They only met 12 times? Really?
They've met 12 times in the NBA Finals. I'm trying to find out how many they've won. That's total championships. How many did they win against each other? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 9 and 3.
Yeah. Calling that a rivalry, you wouldn't call that a rivalry. But
I think it's a little different to say that that's not a rivalry because they played each other so much more. Because those are series. Like each one of those series pretty much went to 6 or 7 games.
yeah,
Like that's much more of a rivalry because you can have more games against each other, more conflict, more head-to-head stuff. I want to say hi to my buddy Jimmy, who's in the chat. He just messaged me and was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm live on YouTube. Come check it out." And he says, "Oh, I miss the old dramas from them. Jesus, it's more than a decade ago now." Yeah, it's a long time.
yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying, but like Maria was, she's been in 10 Grand Slam appearances. She's 5-5, has 5 titles. She wasn't. It wasn't like a flash in the pan.
Let's put it this way: Maria Sharapova was a very, very good tennis player. She won the career Grand Slam, meaning she won all 4 of the slams. She won 5 Grand Slams total. She was number 1 in the world on the WTA Tour rankings. Like Maria Sharapova was excellent. She wasn't Serena excellent.
Serena was that person.
Yeah. I mean, Maria has, like we said, 5 Grand Slams. Serena has like what? Jimmy, correct me if I'm wrong. 22, 23 Grand Slams. So yeah.
But we're going back to this now. Mm-hmm. It is nice when you see rivals like that. And again, I say rivals if you want to say, well, they're not rivals. 23 Grand Slams. Jesus.
Yeah.
When you see rivals, like almost, they become friends, and
it does happen. It really does happen. Yeah.
One of my favorite rivals, Ali versus Frazier, in their later years. I mean, they hated each other. If you go back and watch old interviews of Joe Frazier talking about Ali and what was Ali going through, he was like, I did that to him, and it was like Jesus Christ. But at the end, they were able to reconcile, and in the heat of competition, you say things and you do things. And let's be honest, like you said, Maria came in as a 17-year-old and beat Serena.
Mm-hmm.
Then beat her again.
Wimbledon.
In the finals of Wimbledon, beat her again. Mm-hmm. And Serena was like, you ain't never winning. You ain't never beating me again. And so, competition sometimes fuels, a little bit of hate, things like that. It happens. But to see them, like you said, they've matured. They talked about how they become friends, and they talk, and that's cool.
I think when you stop competing, you mellow out. Like competing, it's all about winning. It's all about, especially with tennis players, because you got to win 7 matches to win a Grand Slam. You got. Tennis players are incredible because most tennis players will lose every week. Because there's, a lot of tennis players don't win, or when they win a tournament, it's not that often. Like somebody wins a tournament for the first time in 4 years, maybe, or whatever. So tennis players go through a lot mentally because they're losing every week, unless you're at the very top of the game. Serena was the very top of the game. Maria, for a while, was at the very top of the game. But I think now that they're both removed from the game, they've mellowed out, and that competitive juice of trying to win every week has gone, and they can recognize each other and how they are as people instead of just as players, and now they can be friends.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you stand across somebody, you want to beat them, and you have to, and you got to find ways to kind of get yourself going to beat them. And so if you, I don't like this person,
Yeah.
that gets you going.
Yeah.
And then now that you're not competing anymore, you're like, what was the reason I didn't like you? Or was that just me making stuff in my head? So it was nice to see, and hopefully we're probably gonna get a Netflix documentary or something.
You know what? I'd love like a documentary. Like they did the documentary on ESPN about Serena now that she's retired, looking back at moments on her career and everything. Not the greatest documentary. They got a lot of stuff wrong. We got a lot of hate in the chat for our little reviews of it that we did. But because we were saying stuff from the documentary and people were like, "That's not right. Do your research." And I'm like, "Well, our research was watching the documentary." So, um, but they've both mellowed. They're both mothers now. Sharapova has a son. Serena has 2 daughters. I think that just like changes you as a person entirely. And I think they can see in each other the contributions they made to the sport of tennis and all of that. And there we go. Jimmy's laughing, but it's true.
Yeah. So good on them. Glad to see it. Glad they are, moving forward. And
It was
that's
really,
awesome.
really a great surprise to see Serena induct Maria at the Tennis Hall of Fame. Maria very deserved to be in the Tennis Hall of Fame. I mean, 5 majors. Most people would dream of 1, and like
Yeah.
that's
And
an incredible
she's
career.
been in 10. She's been in 10.
She's been in
the
10 finals. Yeah. So it's an incredible career Maria had, but like nobody in women's tennis has the career that Serena had. Just like nobody. Margaret Court has more Grand Slams than Serena, but like that's a lot of Australian Opens back in the day when the only people who played it were Australians, and the less said about Margaret Court, the better, because she's a homophobic asshole. But Serena is, in my opinion, the greatest women's tennis player of all time. She definitely had the greatest serve of all time. And Maria wasn't that, but that doesn't mean Maria wasn't excellent. I'm glad they can see that in each other now and that they're friendly.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. We
SDV
got
talk?
SDV talk, and then we got blind rankings.
Yep. All right, let's go to SDV talk.
So we were talking about this in the Discord chat. And I'll give you the story, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah.
So Little Leaguer reveals they don't like Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Shohei. What happened? Well, in 2023, Shohei hits a home run for the Angels. Little Leaguer by the name of I believe it was Monica. I cannot say this last name. Arcuri.
Arcuri, I think.
Arcuri. The ball lands. Someone throws them the ball. They get the ball. Yay! They're excited. They got a Shohei Ohtani homer. They come back to Angel Stadium, go to the VIP section, and say, "Hey, can Shohei sign this ball?" Apparently, Shohei, said no, and didn't give her a side. Gave her side eye. Didn't even give him a glance. And she said, "Oh, he needs to, So now after that, I never liked him ever since. He's not real humble. Not my style."
Yeah.
First off, I'm gonna say, look, what does he need to be humble about?
Yeah.
Here's my issue when people say you need to be humble when it comes to athletes, streamers, things like that. Fans make those people. They watch your streams. They do all that. They help you grow.
Yeah.
Fans did not help Shohei throw a 100-mile fastball in the world in the Japanese leagues. Shohei didn't. These fans did not get him drafted. Yeah. They did not get him to hit home runs. They weren't there when he was training. I understand that fans feel entitled, but they really shouldn't.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Go ahead.
Jimmy in the chat saying they don't owe anybody anything, but they can easily make someone's day with just signing anyway. I was super happy when I got a ball from both Venus and Serena in 2012. Still cherish it until now.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, Jimmy, and that's the good side of fans getting things autographed by athletes. There's also a bad side, and that is the autograph hunters, the people that want to sell the autographs and the autographed items. We see this a lot with wrestlers at airports. They just get hounded by people who want them to sign merch and items and things, and that they're just going to go list on eBay or something and sell.
Yeah.
Athletes do not owe fans autographs. But Jimmy's right. If they sign an autograph for someone, it can make their day. Fair is saying athletes don't owe autographs because you don't know what the autographs are for. Exactly.
Well, yes, and right now, if you go onto eBay, right now, Shohei Ohtani ball was sold on August 23rd, authenticated, the year of his MVP season. It sold for $4,000.
Yeah.
If I can get Shohei to sign me 5 balls, get them authenticated, and I sell them all for $4,000, that's $20,000.
Yeah. I do think, though, that when it's a child, that maybe there needs to be a little bit more accommodation of signing something for the child. Now, you brought up the point with sports cards collecting that you do, that a lot of people are now using children to get autographs so that they can then sell the cards. And that is just horrible to do, first off. But, like, I totally understand why this little girl doesn't like Shohei anymore. I don't think athletes need to be humble, but I do think there needs to be some courtesy at times for both the fans and the athletes. Because I'm sorry, if you just go around, like, snubbing everybody that wants to talk to you and being an asshole about it, then that's on you. And if the kid goes and sells the ball that you signed or whatever, like, that's also on them. So there needs to be a little give and take both ways, I think.
I agree with you, but I also disagree with the fact that if someone's going to make money off my name or my signature, and I don't get a part of that, they make it a career. Right. That's the problem.
Yeah, I can understand that. I also think Shohei Ohtani is worth so much money that why would I pay him for his autograph?
Well, why would you pay him? Because you think that stuff is stupid, which I understand. Some people think this.
Look,
you know.
I went to 90s Con in Connecticut with our friend Brandy. Shout out to Brandy, love Brandy. In March, and we paid to get selfies with people. Like, an autograph on a piece of paper means nothing to me. I didn't want an autograph on I could have gotten autographs from these people, but we stood in line behind people who brought posters and merch and all kinds of stuff and paid extra for every single one of those items to get signed because they're going to go sell it. Like, literally a guy in front of us with a wagon full of stuff to have signed by some of these people. So that was very annoying. And I know that they're just using that to go make money off stuff. But, like, at the same time, like you said, they paid the person for that autograph on the item. So
then that's nothing. That's nothing.
That's not
the
problem. That's not the problem. The ones that are just like at the airports or standing outside stadiums or wherever trying to get autographs to go sell, they're the problem.
Absolutely.
The ones that just hound people to sign stuff in hotel lobbies or whatever it might be, they're the problem. I just feel like sometimes little kids like this girl are gonna get screwed out of a moment that she'd remember for the rest of her life because of this. And now she doesn't like Shohei, and I think she's perfectly within her rights to feel that way.
Oh no, I'm not saying she shouldn't.
No, I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm just saying that's my opinion.
Yeah. I think she has every right if she feels like she was snubbed, and you meet people, and they snub you. Yeah. I know, not really a celebrity. I felt this way toward, oh my God, her name Roxy Stryer, because that's spectacular. I tried to say hi to her, and she just kind of, probably looked at me and said, "Oh, this guy's gonna, he's trying to bug me."
Yeah,
I didn't care for her.
The Showdown is a great example of this. We used to cover on our entertainment channel, the post-credits, link to that on the front page of this YouTube channel or on our website, lgrn.online or letsgetreadynetwork.com, whichever way you want to get there. We used to cover the Showdown. There were people in the Showdown that we would go to these events like Showdown Spectacular, and there'd be a little expo beforehand, and you could get them to autograph things or meet them, take pictures, stuff like that. But a lot of them were also selling things. Like they'd sell DVDs, or Jeff Snyder sold just random stuff from his apartment and just stuff like that. They weren't celebrities.
No,
But to the people who watched the Schmodown,
they
they
were.
were celebrities. And so, like, a moment like you with Roxy or whatever could last for a long time in these people's minds. Like, I remember conversations with Mara Canopik. I remember going up to Beth May, and she knew who I was, and that was really cool. I didn't get anybody's autograph or anything, because, like I said, autographs are meaningless to me. But, you know, like, meeting those people, it's a moment that I remember now, like, 4 years later, still. And sometimes I feel like these little kids are gonna, like, I remember we drag raced when I was a kid. My dad was an amateur drag racer. We'd go to these events that were like where the professionals would come into Denver for the Mile High Nationals, and we'd go around, me and my sister, with t-shirts and try to get all the drivers' autographs on the t-shirts, because it was easier than collecting all the, like, hero cards is what they called them, for the drivers had. And I remember, like, vividly meeting some of those drivers as a kid, and that stays with me to this day, because that was a cool moment that I had when I was 13 or whatever. But I don't know. I get both sides of this. I do.
Yeah, and people will say, well, what does Shohei have to worry about money and stuff like that? Well, he has to gamble. First off.
Yeah. As Buck says, Otani is a degenerate.
Yeah, but I mean, again, if people are making money off your name, and I know it seems kind of like prima donna, or if you want to say greedy, you want to get paid for someone using your name. That's just how it is. Like, we don't understand it because we don't have that kind of money.
We don't have that money, and we don't have that problem because we're not famous.
But if we were,
we
would probably think like that. And I don't have a problem with them thinking like that. But also, I get what you're saying as a child. But like we talked about before, sometimes these kids are sent by adults.
But like the kids that aren't, the kids that are just looking for a moment with their favorite baseball player, that they caught a ball or got given a home run ball from, like, I feel bad for those kids, because the environment of the adults that surround and use the kids to try to get autograph stuff, and then just hound these people for autographs that they can sell, has ruined the ability for a little girl like this Monica girl to have a moment with her favorite baseball player.
And it's already tough for little girls in baseball.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But Buck saying the music is so soothing. It is. It's the Stardew Valley music.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to lower it a little bit because it seems a little loud to me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to lower it. I don't know why it's so loud today. Jay saying, no, athletes don't owe fans, but it's much appreciated to the fans. It means something too. And then he says, especially the ones who be creating paintings, wooden cut boards, be knitting sweaters in their honor, shit like that. Yeah, absolutely, man. And Ferris saying Shohei has to pay back his bookies.
Apparently. Actually, it's pretty funny. I saw like a little clip of the bookie that was taking the bets from Shohei's interpreter, and he was like, "Yeah, there's no way Shohei was playing and placing bets." And everybody in the comments like, he could have just had his interpreter placing the bets for him. Like, but it's funny though, because the bets that he was playing were like Brazilian soccer or like some really degenerate stuff, like 2 a.m. Korean soccer. I don't even know. Does Ferris you watch Korean soccer?
No, I don't think Ferris watches Korean soccer. Not even Ferris watches it. But yeah.
You know, so it is what it is, and I hope I agree with you that people that fans deserve the moments, but I don't think fans deserve the ramifications of getting something that they can sell and make a lot of money off. That's me.
Jay saying he still remembers when he met Derek Fisher, Luke Walton, and Pau Gasol when they were still playing. Yeah, it's moments that stay with you. Like I said, it's a shame that this girl missed out on that and has a negative opinion of him now. But I mean,
I don't know. Do you know rappers? Do you know who Exhibit is?
I've heard of him.
Yeah, I was walking in Venice Beach, and we saw him, and I tried to approach him, and his bodyguard stopped. Now, dude was cool, dabbed me up, and then they walked away. But The bodyguard, I thought they were going to throw me into the ocean because it was at Venice Beach. But he was cool about it. There's sometimes several celebrities recognize moments, and they'll often give it to people.
Yeah, I see. Like, I think it's weird to approach a celebrity out when they're just out somewhere, at the grocery store. Or whatever.
It wasn't at the grocery store.
I know, but to me, I personally in that scenario would not have approached him because he's just living his life. If he's in an event or something and I can get an autograph from him or something, then maybe. But yeah.
I get it.
Ferris saying he has watched the K-League on occasion. He did watch the KBO during COVID. So Ferris, I guess, watches Korean sports.
Only Ferris.
All
right. You want to move on to blind rankings so we can get out of here?
Blind ranking. Back over here, and we will switch to the blind rankings banner, which says you are ranking quarterbacks who have haunted the Steelers.
I already know who number one is.
We'll see. We'll see. Number one, first option, Ken Stabler. There's 6 options.
Okay. Ken Stabler played for the Raiders, beat us in a couple playoff games, I believe. I wasn't alive when he broke our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put him 6.
6? Okay. Tom Brady.
Son of a bitch. Number 1. He's 1. I tell you, if no Tom Brady was around, I feel we would have won 2 or 3 more Super Bowls.
Possible.
Easily.
Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick only beat us in 1 playoff game. We beat Alex Smith. He was on the team. I would say Patrick. I mean, he's still a dynamic player. Obviously, he has run the AFC for the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
I would put Patrick Mahomes number 5.
Okay. Next one, Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco did put us out of the Super Bowl. Out of the playoffs. I think only once, though. I would say 4.
Okay. Peyton Manning.
I'll never forget this game against the Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
All we had to do was sack this stupid mother lover. He falls. We don't touch him. He gets up and he throws the ball. It's on a 3rd and 10, and they get the first down.
Yeah, I remember that game too. Mm-hmm.
We beat him in Indianapolis,
mm-hmm.
and then we're going to get him in Denver, and then he does that shit. Okay, he almost beat us in Indianapolis in that famous game.
Mm-hmm.
I would say
you got 2 or 3 left.
That one hurts, but I would say 3.
3? Okay. So that means you're putting John Elway number 2.
Yeah, and I agree with Dewey. Dan Marino was our biggest haunt.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I looked at some playoff results and picked some quarterbacks. That's all I did.
No. This is totally understand.
So there you go. There's our final ranking in the blind ranking.
I think you can switch John Elway and Peyton, and that's it. But I think this list, I'm fine with this because Kenny Saber did beat us in a couple of playoff games. He was really good against us. We also beat him. Patrick Mahomes, we played him one time. We were the underdog, so that doesn't really hurt. Joe Flacco, we beat him as a rookie. He beat us when we had a really good team, put us out of the playoffs, and I think they went and won the Super Bowl that year. Again, Peyton Manning, the playoff game that I felt we really should have won. John Elway, same thing. Tom Brady, though, hate that guy because if there's no Tom Brady, I feel we win. Like Slash gets a Super Bowl. I think Ben gets a Super Bowl or 2 or 3 Super Bowls. That guy just ruined us. I always say
Tom Brady ruined a lot of people.
I always say Tom Brady and the Jacksonville Jaguars destroyed the Steelers for some weird ass reason.
The Jaguars had a habit of doing that back in the day.
With Blake Bortles, they beat us with David Garrard, and they beat us with Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
Not even Byron Leftwich. They beat us with David Garrard and Blake Bortles. I'm about to break my mic right now. And then Tim Tebow. Don't. Your damn Broncos and Tim Tebow. You know what? I hate the Broncos. I hate them. I hate them. Don't even want to talk to them anymore. Don't want to talk about them. I hate them.
Well, we're going to. Tim Tebow's not on the Broncos anymore. It's okay.
He's not on any team anymore.
I
He's an
know. Thank
analyst
God.
for college
Yeah.
football where he belongs.
Where he belongs. Ferris saying John Elway haunted the Steelers. Interesting. The Browns have nightmares about Elway. That's true. They do. The Browns definitely do. Jacksonville did do it to the Broncos too. Yes. Back in that era, Jacksonville did it to a lot. All right, Chuck, let's get
Disrespect.
out of here.
Yes, let's get out of here. Before we get out of here, real quick, Adelia, let people know where they can find all the links and what shows are coming up this week. Yeah.
Links are in the description of this episode if you're watching on YouTube. There's also links on our website, letsgetreadynetwork.com, if you're watching on Twitch. There's a link to the Discord available. Join the Discord. It's free. We'd love to have you. Talk about all kinds of stuff in there, movies, TV, football, soccer, tennis, miscellaneous sports channel where you can talk about any sport in the world if you want. Lots of stuff in there. A lot of fun. If you want to help support the channel a little bit, you can join us on Patreon or Ko-fi. You can also buy us a coffee. Those links are in the description or on our website. We have a Venmo and a Cash App if you're in the United States and would like to donate a tip to our way. We'd really appreciate it. All the money goes right back into the channel. As for programming this week, normally on Friday on this channel, Good Friends Better Rivals, we'd have the eponymous podcast, Good Friends Better Rivals, but there will be no show this week. That's usually Fridays at 5 p.m. Pacific. They're going to do a show on Thursday before the Cowboys take on the Eagles on Thursday Night Football to kick off the NFL season because Ferris is out of town right now. And we will be back with starting 11 on Tuesday. That's at 5 p.m. Pacific. Me and Snark talking about the week that was in the English Premier League. A big game this weekend between Liverpool and Arsenal. I'm really hoping Arsenal can pull out the win. And then we'll be back with the Steel Conspiracy podcast, 7 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday next week, right on this very channel.
Yep, and we will be talking the start of the season. We'll be doing predictions. We'll be doing two early predictions, like picking MVPs, rookie of the years, all that good stuff. We'll also be breaking down the Broncos and Steelers schedule. So we probably won't do other stories unless like WNBA talk. If we're doing WNBA talk, then Ferris is only staying for 10 minutes because God, he'll keep us here for like 2 hours because it is coming up to the playoffs. We are, and so we are going to have some WNBA talk with Ferris. Big games happened today. Shout out to my fever. And
I forgot something.
Yes,
our fantasy football league that we do with our patrons, we're having our draft on Sunday, 4 p.m. Pacific, right on this channel. You can watch it live. Ferris will be hosting all of that good stuff. And if you want to join our NFL predictions that we're going to be doing on the show, you can join the Pick'em League. That's at the $10 tier on our Patreon or Ko-Fi page. If you're interested, feel free to sign up and you can join us.
Yeah,
Fantasy
come out.
Football League is full, though. The Fantasy Football League is full. Yes, Ferris, this show is at 1 hour and 45 minutes without you, but it's flowed a lot better than it does when you come on here and monologue. We had a lot of stories to cover.
And let's be honest, we let Justin on.
We let Justin on and he monologued.
Yeah, but it's okay.
It's okay. We had a lot of stories to cover tonight.
Yeah, we don't mind a monologue unless you're a villain. Then that's the worst time to monologue.
Yeah, worst time. Suge, where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter, SugeKnight323, on TikTok, SugeKnight323 also. I haven't really been streaming gaming on Twitch recently. Obviously, I'm doing Still Conspiracy here, so you find me here. I've been streaming a little bit on TikTok if you want to come hang out, play Fortnite or Magic or whatever. But I'm kind of back in school trying to get all that stuff done. Yeah, whatever.
It did, Ferris.
But you can find me here every Tuesday with Adelia, and we're going to be going through this year. It's going to be a fun year, exciting year. We'll be covering everything. Make sure to join us. We'll be doing predictions, like she said. We'll be doing all kinds of cool stuff, talking all kinds of cool things. So come hang out with us, every Tuesday. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share it out to your friends. Really appreciate it. Make sure to just, interact with us because it helps with the algorithm. Once again, we really appreciate you being here, hanging out with us. Everybody that was in the chat, really do appreciate the support. I hope everyone has a great night. And when we see you next Tuesday, have a great Labor Day. Be safe. Appreciate all of you.
Ferris, why are you mean? Why are you mean?
Have a good night.
Everybody.